Okay, so this is my response video for the Coen brothers' 1996 film Fargo. Um, Taken into consideration with other film noirs we've studied, I feel like the first, this is probably the most different film that we've studied so far, in my opinion, and I'm honestly kind of confused by it. Like, I know we talked in class about how it's like controversial in the sense that some people find it to be amusing, but others don't. I kind of don't know how I feel, um, but I did notice there was a lot of like, I could see the similarities in Silence of the Lambs with Clarice and Marge. Okay, Marge. Sorry. Clarice and Marge, I can see that there's like a correlation there, as like these are like the female investigator types, and it's um, like they just draw from pieces of the classical film noir tropes. Um, but again, it's different because I feel like Clarice is incredibly strong willed and driven. Not to say that Marge isn't, she is, but it just seems that maybe it's because the comedic aspect makes it harder for us to take her seriously, because I feel like there's so much comedy included. Also, like, there was a similarity in the sense that she, like Clarice, doesn't really get that much recognition or acknowledgement. She's constantly proving herself and doing all these investigative things herself. Um, and it's kind of like that theme that we talked about last class about whether or not Silence of the Lambs could be considered feminist. I'm not sure this is either, as, you know, at the end, Marge is like, she doesn't even really get acknowledged for what she does. And like the movie ends on such a weird note, and this like really confused me, is because like she gets back in there after figuring everything out. You know, she solves the case. That was like her big, that was like the climax in her story. She solves the case, and as the resolution and like happy ending part is supposed to happen. And she comes back to the house, and her husband's talking about like how he got his stamps on his art on like the stamp mail. And I was like, why are we talking about this right now? And then the movie ended, and I was like, what? Like, I was like, I'm so confused. But I think that like could be the point too, that like maybe even her husband, who was seemingly like very, I feel like he was very nice to her and like kind to her, even he didn't really acknowledge her hard work in the end. And like, in reality, she should have been the one on the news being told that to everyone that she solved this insane case of a man trying to extort his wife for money. In terms of cinematography and lighting, I thought I could see how it's described as a white noir or a film, right? That's what we're talking about. Oh, wait. Yeah, like a white noir, because it's so bright. But I do think at the same time, I feel like there was a lot of chiaroscuro lighting at some instances when there was the chase scenes, and we would be like planted kind of from the car's perspective. Um, so I think like the shadowing and the lighting was definitely, it was visually very appealing, and it was very artistic, but taken with contrast of the comedical aspects, I feel like it made it confusing to me, because maybe I'm just not used to watching a comedical film. I don't know, but yeah.